the next Satsang and guided meditation, today the 19th of July. And let's just start with a quick check-in before we start with the card drawing and the reading and then the meditation. So Anita, check in for us, please.
Hi, morning all. I've had a fairly good week, been back at work. So did a lot of meditation yesterday. So I've been reading up about active meditation and passive meditation. So I'm getting myself kitted for the next 2 weeks at work, but all good on my side. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Next.
Hi. Yeah, so I've yet again felt the lack of not being here last weekend. But yeah, I had a few rough work weeks, certainly. So looking forward to today and looking forward to the good energy.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So,
welcome. Barbara. You're on. Yeah.
Yes, I've had a good week, a busy week, healthy week. Yes, it's been all good. Yeah, also looking forward to today for a sort of spiritual update or upgrade and an energy upgrade as well. So yeah, nice to be here.
Nice to have you here. Thank you. Glad that you had a healthy week and that your spirits are up. Beautiful, beautiful. Vanessa.
Hi, yes. I missed you last week. Load shedding took care of that for me. So it's good to be back again. Few technical issues this morning. So I'm going to just take my video off because otherwise I'm going to sit here and hold my phone all the time. But yes, I've had a good week. I've had a good 2 weeks. Everything's going well, but glad to be back. Glad to see your little faces again.
Likewise. Nice to see you. Thanks, sir.
Okay.
Mickey.
Morning, everyone. Not much to say, actually. Looking forward to today's satsang.
Wonderful. Nice to have you here. Doing a lot of planning in my pending relocation back to KZN, and looking forward to it. Have a couple of sessions set up here and also a couple of sessions already being booked for Durban. So it feels like a positive move back. It feels like I'm being received with warm energy, and whoever I say that, I get yays. So it means a lot when you go to places where you feel a warm welcome and being received in that energy, where your presence actually matters. So yeah, lots to plan and lots to do, but very grateful for having this touch in and touch base Sunday sessions with you guys. It's awesome and needed for my soul and for my human body. Last night, when I spoke to somebody, I said, if I had to, when you go and visit hotels or certain places, then they have this review card of rate the service and rate that. And I said, if you ask my human self about this human experience and you ask my soul self about this experience, I'm sure the cards will be filled out differently. It's definitely not the experience at the same level, and I need to get to maybe have the sense of humor that my soul props have for that which I apparently asked for to experience. But I just thought it was funny. So yesterday I sat for a while and connected with all of you, and ask Spirit for divine guidance for us today. And I was drawn to draw some cards for us from the Psychic Tarot. I haven't for a while. And because of the changing energies and everything that we all seem to go through in one way or another, I thought I'll draw 3 cards today, just to give us like a flow of energy of what's to be expected. And the first card that I drew was obstacles and challenges, and it is a person standing on the precipice of something. There's a bird underneath their feet, a drawing of a bird, and there's something that they have to overcome, a step that they have to take to get to the other side. But there's orbs of Spirit being with them, is guidance. The circle feels like spiritual protection. And it's a number 5, and 5 is transformation and change. So yeah, so let me read you the message. So this card represents obstacles, power struggles, and challenges that you must face in order to overcome them. This could be a difficult period to get through, but it's not impossible if you open your mind and see the bigger picture and how something went wrong. Don't get caught up in it. Just pause and stand back for clarity. Observe where adjustments are required and which decisions may need to be changed to enable you to move forward in a positive direction. Life really is all about learning. Don't play the victim. Take the knowledge you've gained from this experience so that you can apply it to similar situations in the future. This card often comes forth when competition is around you, whether it is in your personal or business life. It is an excellent time to think creatively and ask yourself, how can I make myself shine above all the rest? So I think when I spoke to Beryl also this week, she mentioned that she's also going through all kinds of experiences, and we all do. And I thought, when I was reflecting upon my move and stuff, I thought, yes, a different me and hopefully a wiser me is coming back with a different set of experiences, and taking all that I can from this and making the most of it. Yeah. So wherever obstacles and challenges are in your life that you need to face or go through, at least we have this group as a support. You are not alone. And yeah, if you need help, just shout. If you have to face it yourself and go through it yourself, then it's easy to help others as well, because we are support for one another. So yeah. Then the next card that I drew after this obstacles and challenges that we are facing in one way or another is a beautiful card of hope. And it's a hands with an orb of light inside of it. And there's a man also standing inside of that light. And it's a number 17. Card number 17. And it's a major arcana card. So let's say this card that focuses on the qualities of hope, faith, healing, aspirations, success, and finally enlightenment. When this card appears, know that a special wish you've made is may be fulfilled in time. The Hope card will help show you that the impossible can indeed become the possible, and force the works through your soul, determining what's possible and the difference between success over failure, and above all, who we are is the power of your belief. This card serves as a reminder to use your natural ability of intuition, the language of your soul, as you reach for your goals and desires. The future can be yours when you have hope and trust in everything you do. Soon, others will be attracted and drawn to that inner light. Learn to share your experiences and lessons, for those around you will also realize that by having faith and pushing forward where one may have felt no hope at all is the key to success. Above all, maintain a positive attitude starting right now. This very minute will allow your soul to soar. You'll discover an opportunity to shine as you reach for the stars. And it's the normal tarot, this is the star card. And then after following this from Hope is Destiny. And it is where there's various aspects where it's first unmanifest and up into manifestation, and it's a 10, number 10. It's the sacred geometry behind it is the flower of life. Beautiful card. And the Destiny card gives us the following message, and it says, good luck and fortune are now in your favor. The cycle of change, success, and growth is imminent. Life ebb and flows in a natural journey, and the destiny signifies that good karma has come full circle. Lady Luck is pointing directly at you. What you've sowed, you're about to reap. Open up your heart and accept and receive what you're earned. Opportunities, whether expected or unexpected, are knocking at your door. This is a time to allow your problems to be replaced by solutions. Believe in destiny as you learn to let go of old issues. You're being given a chance to understand the lessons and gain the wisdom from the past, enabling you to move steadily forward in a positive direction, holding on to a strong belief that you deserve to be happy and prosperous and have abundance in all areas of your life is the key. This confident mindset will show you that the impossible can indeed become the possible. With this card, take advantage of all opportunities. Act now. Take responsibility for your actions and enjoy the fact that destiny is presently in your favor. Don't always rely on luck, however, for the wheel most definitely will turn again. Most definitely will turn again. So, wonderful messages for us. Tell me, what do you get for yourself? Does it resonate with you? Does it not resonate with you? Any takers?
Hi. Okay. Yeah, this is actually quite interesting and very funny because I was doing this meditation and there's like 3 phases to the meditation. And it actually is, I'm just like sitting here and smiling to myself because you identify your obstacles, you come up with resolutions in phase 2, and in phase 3, you actually look at your problem resolved. And that's exactly what the 3 cards, when you drew the 3 cards, I was like, could it be this meditation that I've been doing? I'm just so amazed with you, Fiona. You're just unbelievable.
How's
Thank you.
that synchronicity? Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Awesome. Anybody else? Okay. Yeah, Vanessa.
Yeah, it was also all 3 of them, and exactly progressing as Anita said. You've got the obstacle, then you start dealing with it, there's hope, and then there's your destiny, and it all meant so much for me in what we're doing at the moment and a new life that we're building. It really is very, very fitting. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, awesome. Alrighty. So, yeah, sometimes we need to look beyond the obstacles in our life. And that doesn't matter how bleak or dark or difficult a situation seems. There's always hope, and there's always positive things that can come. But it's for us to take responsibility for it, because if we stay stuck in the obstacles or don't have the courage to overcome that obstacles, then it's only us to blame, because we have to figure. Spirit tells us, or told me many times, it's know thyself, know thyself. And the best thing that you can ever do for yourself is know yourself. Know what makes you happy. Know which places makes you happy. Where you can be grounded, where you can flourish, and where you can do whatever it is that you need to do. And only we know that. And we have to be true to ourselves. We have to do whatever it is to take those leaps of faith, and do whatever is required of us to do. We can't always just sit and wait for things to be resolved. Sometimes the Spirit calls us to action, and there's always signs when it's the right time. You feel it. You have to. The more you are in tune with yourself, you feel, okay, it's a push to take this step. Okay, it's now to do this. There's times that you have to rest and integrate and recalibrate, and then there's a time for action. And it's to have the courage to take those action steps. That can be as scary as hell from time to time. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of resolution, or I don't know what words to use, to be able to make all the moves that we need to make. But when we draw upon our inner strength, that helps us on the outside as well. So yeah, and I hope that those that listen to this recording afterwards, that couldn't make it, that the messages is also significant to you. So again, I'm reading one of the Kryon parables, and this time number 1. I like to jump around in them, so we finally got to number 1. And today's parable is the parable of the tar pit, and it is it's so appropriate because it is related to the first card of obstacles and challenges. Sometimes, yeah, I even amaze myself, or how Spirit works through everything and just makes everything gel together. That the cards and our story today speak. So this it was a chilly November day when I was invited along with my wife Jan to bring the translations of Kryon to a live session in New York at the United Nations, the Society for Enlightenment and Transformation, a meditation of the UN, meets regularly for enlightenment of delegates and their invited guests only. Kryon gave the shortest parable ever, and one that summarizes how, when we change ourselves, it changes everything. This was one of the first parables ever given in front of a group. So here the parable starts. Imagine yourself along with many other human beings in a tar pit covered with tar, dirty from head to foot, unable to move quickly from place to place because the tar is so thick. As you plod from place to place, you become used to this condition, and year after year, your life is lived in this fashion along with the others. Like the gravity of the planet, the encumbrance of the tar is simply accepted, a fact of life for all. This is your imagined state. Suddenly, but quietly, you are offered a gift from God. It's a magic tool that cleans your body and keeps you clean even while you're in the tar. Like an energy field, it actually repels the tar that you walk through it. You accept the gift and you work, and the work that must go with it. And you begin to learn how to use it. Slowly, you change. To others, you are beginning to stand out, for you are different, fresh and clean, while they are moving around you, still in the dark tar. You begin to realize how you have co-created this for yourself. But you realize that it was a very special and very personal gift. And so you say nothing. Now, do you think the others around you will ignore you as you walk freely without the tar touching you or encumbering your feet? They will watch the tar touch your body and never soil you. What do you think will happen? Watch. They are about to change. The first thing that will happen is that wherever you walk, there will be space, for they will clean the way for you. The second thing that will happen is that they will ask you how such a thing is possible. And when you find the magic tool from God, each of them, when they find it, each of them will begin using it for themselves. And more humans will also be clean. Each person creating for him or herself personally, just as you did for yourself. And you silently continue your life over a period of time. Look at what is happening around you. More than half of them will be clean and unencumbered by the tar. Stop and think about what has really happened. You have not evangelized your gift or asked any of these people to change for you, and yet they changed anyway. This is how the result of just one creates for the many. We tell you, dear ones, that when you change yourself, it is the beginning of the change all around you. Humans cannot be still when they see peace and love emanating from you. It is disarming and loving all at the same time, like a magnet among other magnets. Your new polarity will eventually have the effect on the aligning of everyone around you, and your existence will never be the same. That's the parable. So the author's postscript is, take a look at this short parable, which contains some of the clearest answers about the workings of the new age energy on the planet. In this parable, Kryon has humans in a tar pit, covered with tar, dirty from head to foot, unable to move quickly from place to place because the tar is so thick. This is how we are in a normal life, in the old energy, chained by old karmic lessons and walking the best we can as we carry all around with us. Kryon then offers 5 words that are part of his cosmic humor. He says, that is your imagined state. This is Kryon's way of reminding us all that the earth experience is not a reality, and that our duality is a phantom. The real universe is what we experience when we are not here. In this parable, the magic tools from God are the new energy gifts that Kryon speaks about. Suddenly, as you receive the gifts, the tar no longer sticks to you, and you walk around unencumbered and clean. This is a strong reference to how the new age energy affects you, and you are no longer held to karmic contracts, and you can move forward on the planet towards a marriage with your higher self, and eventually ascension, graduation status. Kryon also casually mentions that we are that we have co-created this magic tool. Wait a minute. I thought the magic tool was from God, you might say. Again, Kryon wants us to remember that he calls us pieces of God, walking the earth in lesson. In other words, we represent the wholeness of the love of God. Next, he has us walking around in this state without the tar touching us, indicating that not only has our old karma been dispersed, but so too the karmic ties with those with whom we had opportunity to interact with others. This, of course, is the object of the parable, to show how our decisions create changes on a larger scale than just for us in our own little worlds. Kryon goes on to describe what happens to those around us. This is a really important concept, for it addresses the new age energy and the gifts from God. Will you lose your mates, your kids, your jobs, and so on if you take on the new age energy gifts? Will we be outcast? Will listen to what the parable says. Do not think others around you will ignore you as you walk freely without the tar touching you and encumbering your feet. The first thing is that everyone will notice that you are different. But instead of casting you out, the opposite potential exists. Others will look at how you are living and respond. Some will wonder the same thing and ask what happened to you. And some will just be glad that you changed. As far as mates and kids, they will see the changes in you first, and they will wonder what has taken place and to make you suddenly such a great, balanced person. When you're balanced spiritually, physically, and mentally, a wonderful thing happens. Everyone wants to be your friend. People recognize the specialness of who you are, and they are not threatened by you in any way. Can you see how this attitude will enhance a job, a marriage, a friendship, or a generation gap, and not destroy it? The only ones you will offend are those who are angry at you for having changed. And believe me, those are the ones who you don't want around you anymore. Yes. When it is all said and done, even though you might be the only one who decides to accept the new energy ways, dozens around you will be affected by your choice. This is the part of the way that God uses individual choices by humans to create energy that will benefit many. Perhaps you will see the dynamics of the concept and truly understand how an individual decision of enlightenment is far more important than it appears. So I would love to hear your take on what you're taking away from this parable, Barbara.
Yes, this really resonated with me because especially right now, I find everything that I'm hearing on the TV and the news, and I don't have a lot of contact with anybody. It's because of the COVID. So all my sort of input comes from the TV, basically, and stuff I see online. And I just find that what you said about the tar pit, you've got to actually not allow any of that stuff to stick to you, because then that just drags you into the tar. And by not letting that tar or negative stuff stick to you, your whole reality changes and becomes different from the reality of the people who unfortunately have got the tar sticking to them. So, and sometimes I'm actually so grateful that I'm in a very fortunate position, and I sort of wonder how did I get here? But I think maybe a lot of it has to do with not letting the tar stick.
Yes.
And anyway, I got that from it, definitely.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. Who else is going to give me their take on what they're taking away from this parable? Okay? No one? Okay, so for me, I love this parable because it's very visual. You can see the imagery and can understand that. And it also, while I was reading it, it reminded me of that book, The Power of One. And sometimes we don't realize the effect that we can have on the whole. We don't have to be, I'm going to say, big change makers. The big boys at the top that do that. It's in our simple approach to life. Not that it's simple, it's simplified. That others can then see our response, because as Barbara said, we can easily be caught up in the mayhem, in the time, all that is wrong, all that we should fear, all that we should be stuck in, all the karma and the drama and the mayhem. And we can either be participants of that or be detached from that. And when we walk in a state of detachment, we can walk through those experiences without it soiling us. It's like sometimes the actions of others says a lot about them. It doesn't say something about you. So you can only take responsibility for your actions and how you approach life. And it is here sometimes we get we fall down and we get hurt, and we have those uncomfortable healing processes that we need to go through. But do we go through it? And it's like one of those cards says it's not to act like the victim, because as soon as we go through experience and we start all acting like victims, how are we going to gain our power and be feel more lighter and be more enlightened? So it is just a reminder that yes, this is an imagined state. And duality is imagined, and it is again a reminder that our soul self just needs to merge with our human self so that we can see things from a higher vantage point, not from the 3D reality, but from a multidimensional reality, so that we act more from our power. More, it's subtle. The power is not to overpower others. It's just to stand in your own power, be true to your own self, make the decisions that you need to do, but not necessarily phased by the tar. Because the tar is there. Kryon didn't say, all the tar disappeared from the earth. He didn't say, if you pray enough, all the tar will go away. No. It's to know that it's there, but not give it the power to soil your soul and to become that. And that's I guess one thing that motivates me for the move. It is like if it's we all have our own freedom in creating a life that is enjoyable for us, that which we get joy from, satisfaction from, feel successful in, and it is to help co-create that. And we are reminded of our creator abilities again, because we are God particles just having this human experience. And it's not to forget that, because we do create it. As I said last time, it's the answers is created before the problems are there. It's the solutions is always there. So, yeah. Anybody else would like to say something that they take away from this parable? No, I can hear you.
I was just thinking about this whole tar situation and the planet and how extremely difficult it is to actually not let the tar stick. When you see on the TV that the Amazon forest is being destroyed at the rate of like 39% every year, you know, and you think, well, I do anyway. It's very hard not to get drawn into that and depressed by it, because where are the angels? Where are the beings of light? Where's somebody that's going to stop this from happening? I find that is to try and stay positive in the face of that is actually difficult. It's not my own personal reality, but and the reality of people killing themselves and not having enough to eat, and it's just ongoing. And I sort of sometimes wonder how me being not, free of the tar is actually going to make any difference to any of that. It worries me. That's what I want to say.
So it's just to hold the light and do whatever you can in sharing energy and consciousness around the planet. So in many of the parables, it also said that we first have to take care of our needs, and when we take care of our needs, then we can take care of others. But while we haven't, we can't give. So we can't give from empty cups. So it is, we all have been allocated different roles and different experiences. And sometimes just being a light bearer, just being a lighthouse, just being a comfort for someone, just providing a meal for someone, planting a tree on a new property, little things that is just with consciousness and awareness been done. And it's to I understand the feelings invoked within you when you hear all these news about the rainforest and people dying of hunger, and it is we can only see what compassionate action steps we can take. So that's it. Somewhere on Facebook I read a message this morning about everything is perfect. Everything is exactly as it should be, because God doesn't create mistakes. God doesn't make a mistake. So it is only our vantage point that sometimes makes it think, oh, it must be wrong. But sometimes in our wrongdoing, we get to understand that, we get to see that. We don't necessarily realize our mistakes if we haven't done something wrong or inappropriately or out of alignment or unconsciously. It is to learn from that and to see, okay, but there are people that are doing stuff about it. There's also people that are planting many, many trees. There are also people that's doing whatever they can. So it is just to hold that consciousness and awareness. Hold the light. Be the change. Whatever you can do that within your means, within your whatever. But we can't fix all the perceived problems because we're not seeing the bigger picture. We don't always see the bigger picture. And sometimes we make judgment calls because we just see what's happening here. But everything has, there's consequences to everything. So if here didn't happen, this wouldn't have happened either, because it follows on there's a trail of thought, of consciousness, of awareness, of enlightenment. People make unconscious things and then they realize that they see the effects of it and then they become conscious. So consciousness might have not happened if this unconscious act didn't happen. And there's a lot of unconscious behaviors that has happened on this planet for many times. People could just turn a blind eye. It wasn't acknowledged. But all that is now coming up to the foreground to say, look, we need to look here. And it's just to hold that energy of consciousness so that it can filter through to others.
Yeah, I think that that's helped a lot. What you said about there's the other side of the story. So the story about the burning forests is the one side of the story, and the story which we're hearing, and the story about many people planting forests and planting trees and doing stuff for the planet is probably the story we're not hearing. So yeah,
yes,
yeah, no, I get
yes.
it. I get it.
And again, there's duality. And Kryon says we can't just look at one side, we need to look at the other side, but actually there's just one side. It's part of the one story. It's a part of one energy.
Yeah.
So we can't make a judgment about just one, because when there's this, there must be a polar opposite, and it's actually still part of the one energy of. And the one thing that's we were reminded today is everything is we in lesson. We just in lesson.
Yeah.
And everyone is learning lessons. Some on a micro scale, some on a macro scale. It doesn't matter if it's big or small, or if it's 1 or 100. It's just to see what is our part in it. How can we make it more enjoyable for ourselves?
Thanks.
Okay. Alrighty, so you ready for the meditation this morning? Yes. Okay. Welcome to today's guided meditation. Want you just to become comfortable, either sitting with your spine aligned or lying down. And I want you just for a moment to focus on your breathing. Taking a few slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just for a moment, you just detach, releasing and go of all that no longer serves you, in order for you to be shining lighter and lighter, brighter and brighter. Just allow this tone, this vibration, this frequency to go in, through and around your body as you just relax. With slow, deep breaths. Expand your lower abdomen as you breathe in. And contract your lower abdomen as you breathe out. Deep body breaths. For a moment, just detach, release, and let go of all the events and the demands that has been placed upon you during this week. Just detach. Just allow yourself to be here. Allow yourself to receive, to balance, and realign yourself. Just for a moment, allow the thought not to stick to you, not to be affected by it, but just see it for what it is and the role that it plays. Notice how the tar is not sticking to you. Notice that you're actually fine. Everything is okay. And I want you just to visualize yourself now stepping into the most beautiful garden. forest setting. And when you just to visualize yourself venturing through this beautiful nature, walking among the tall trees, is providing you with the oxygen that you are needing, the oxygen and energy that you need on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level to revitalize and re-energize you. You're very much aware of the crystalline energies and the grids that you're walking upon. You're aware of the beautiful flowers, ferns, and greenery all around you, pulsating with beautiful energy and frequencies. And you are magnetically being drawn to the biggest tree within the setting, one that you know very well. I want you just to go sit by this tree. And leaning against it. And just connecting with the wisdom of this old one, standing tall and standing strong for years upon years upon years. I want you to listen to the consciousness and the messages that this wise old tree is bringing you for your current circumstances. What is it that this tree wants you to know or remember? What is the wisdom it shares with you? What has it seen and experienced that you need to be aware of to give you a different vantage point? What can you learn from this tree? What balanced perspective are you to gain from this experience? And you think there's a wise old tree with the beautiful visions, messages, wisdom, clarity, and understanding that it has shared with you. And you feel more peaceful with this high understanding. And I'm now calling in your totem animal to come and join you. Which animal is approaching you? I want you now to connect with this animal and listen to the messages that it brings you today. What is it that it needs you to know and remember? Your totem animal is beckoning you to follow it on a little journey that it would like to show you. You just follow your totem animal now to that which it would like to show you and make you aware of. To again become aware of a different perspective, different vantage point, something that you haven't seen, something that is possible that you thought to be impossible. And with gratitude in your heart, you thank this precious totem animal for this beautiful message, vision and clarity. I want you now to look upon the world and all its people, especially all those with whom you have heart connections with. And I want you to send a loving kindness, acceptance, appreciation, love, healing. Just allow yourself to send out whatever you would like to pour out from your heart towards the people, situations, experiences. Now give it your focused attention without judgment. Just with loving, nurturing care. Hold those in meditation today to receive the blessings, the love, the nurturing, the guidance. Sending it out to the group and then to the whole and the collective. As you become aware of the one unity consciousness, the God particle within you that is connected to all other God particles. Allowing you to see through the eyes of God. Yeah, with the ears of God. And feel with the heart of God. You become aware of a wise owl on the top of the trees above you. And you receive the wisdom that it brings you now. You thank the owl for the wisdom that it has shared and imparted with you. And with gratitude in your heart, you gently come back into your body, back into this now moment, back into your room. And I want you to visualize the most beautiful golden bubble of light coming in all around you. See this golden bubble of light coming down the front of your body, the back of your body, the left side and the right side of your body, and gently tuck beneath your feet, 2 feet below you. Now visualize a grounding cord from the base of this bubble of light, and grounding your golden bubble of light within the crystal heart of Mother Earth. And feel the crystalline energies, the support coming back up your grounding cord and into your golden bubble of light, re-energizing and revitalizing you throughout today. In a balanced and detached status, very aware. And in your own time, you will slowly rotate your hands, rotate your feet. And open your eyes. Then I would like you to take turns and just share with me all that you experience in this meditation.
Wow, it was a very soothing, comforting sort of meditation. I felt a lot of, well, just love, basically, and a lot of, love. Anyway, I sat under that tree and absorbed all that lovely tree energy and got the message about the tree, about it, how it became the tallest tree in the forest was through the constant battering of gale-forced winds and storms, just caused the roots to get stronger and the branches to get thicker and the trunk to get thicker and the tree to get the tallest one in the forest. So, that was the message I got, that all the things that batter us in life just make us stronger. That was my tree message. Yeah, it was great.
And the totem animal?
My token animal was the same one I always have, which is like a little small deer. and it's very gentle and very sweet, and there's nothing threatening or harsh about it at all. It's lovely, and I enjoy it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing your messages with us. Thank you. Who's next? Vanessa.
Yes, thank you. Oh, there was the most beautiful weeping willow. There's a place somewhere in the Vaal, can't remember where. Oh, I can't remember the name. That I used to play golf, and it's next to the river, and it just has the most beautiful weeping willow. So that was my tree. And I connected with something you said earlier about your right and to make a place or to go to a place where you feel at home, and that resonates with me as well. And then this tree was saying to me that I'm a tree, I cannot move, and I'm not supposed to move, but that doesn't mean you stay stuck at the same place, because you're a human, you can move. So everybody has their own purpose or path. And yeah, then my totem animal was a white dove, which was beautiful. And he took me on a up journey to just see the whole world, and to realize that there are no borders when you're up there, that the world is one. So it was very, very powerful for me today. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you for sharing your visions and your messages with us. Thank you. Wow.
Thanks.
Who's next?
Hi. I also had a very beautiful meditation. The totem animal was a butterfly, but I also thought about the owl. So when you mentioned the owl at the end, I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I should have gone with the owl. I'm not too sure. But there were a lot of personal messages that actually came through, and it's things that I actually need to work with and through myself. It's stuff that I've been thinking about. So I had a lot of those. It's like issues even with meditation that I need to work with manifestation, with goals. And for me, I actually, in the meditation, I could achieve it, but there's a lot of work that I need to do with myself. So I just got to sit back and think about it, and I can do it. That's it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Next.
So this week, the kids, Kian went back to school, and it was a little bit of a traumatic experience for both of us. And after one of the drop-offs, I went to meet a friend for coffee before the workday started, and I saw this most amazing tree, which I took a photo of. And so that was the tree that was in my meditation.
Okay.
It was formed of, it's just really unusual, and it's formed of many, many branches, slimmer branches that go up. And it had, the most amazing blue sky behind it. I obviously drifted away, so I didn't really get messages per se from the tree itself, but strong owl actually came through then too, whilst we were sitting under the tree. And likewise, when you spoke about the totem animal, it was actually a big grizzly bear, which I've never had before. But really the messages were be strong, brave and courageous. And it's just very apt as to where I'm at and what I'm trying to achieve outside of work. But it was lovely. It was really good, peaceful, and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing your visions and your messages with us. Awesome.
Cool.
Mickey, you would like to share anything, or are you good?
Yeah, sure. Short and sweet as well. I saw my totem animal was a wolf, and you know how much I want to leave my job and how much I want to leave SA. So the messages that I got was like, you know where you're heading to, even though, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't know, but my inner self knows. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. That's
Thank you.
fantastic. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I loved this meditation. So this whole week I've been thinking that I want us to connect with our totem animals. And I wasn't sure if when it's going to be, or if it's going to be a separate meditation that I'm going to do or whatever. But it's like when Barbara brought up the trees, I thought, okay, today is the day that we'll connect with these energies, because connecting with nature, spirit, intelligence is just such a powerful and wonderful experience, and something that we can do more often. So sitting underneath that tall, majestic, big tree was awesome. I got so many messages. One similar to Vanessa is that we have the ability to move and change. We are not stuck like the trees where they can just be at one place. And also similar to Barbara, that all these experiences makes us stronger, makes us who we are. And in the Vedic astrology reading that I had last year, he mentioned that through all the experiences, the last bit that I had to go through was a pruning, and was pruning, back, and I felt like there was severe pruning that taken place, and then winter happened, and I thought, okay, so after this pruning and after this winter, I don't know if any shoot is going to come out again. It's like sometimes you felt lots of cutting back on so many things, and what I was reminded of is that within a seed there is potential for that big tree. The seed carries the whole tree in it. The seed carries the fruit that the tree will bear. The seed carries the beauty, the gifts, the whatever. It's in that seed, and the seed of God is within us, our manifestation abilities, the love that can come from us, the beauty that can come from us, the fragrance of love that we emanate, everything is within the seed. And doesn't matter what the plant goes through, what we go through, it's all that is still there. And if we place ourselves where we need to be, and we allow regrowth to take place, because after a pruning there is regrowth, and you can flower even more, and you can become even more, and so it's like that hope card. It's like I got to see what is within me and know that that can come out now, that can be fully expressed and experienced and enjoyed. So yes, it's like I needed to see it. I needed to see it from that vantage point, because sometimes when you just see that which we let go of, that which gets taken away, that gets cut off, that we still just see that state, and we don't see what comes after. But I got the vision of what's after, and that was just beautiful. Then also the totem animal that came through is a little thorn, and I was seeing it a little curled up by the tree, and I thought that is just perfect, because a little deer, a little thorn is it's like it's innocent. And that is how we are in our spirits. We are innocent when we experience this world is whatever the world is, but it's not to lose that innocence. So that when we look upon the thorn, it's not the great message that I got from that is not to have any judgment about anything, not to have a single grain of judgment about anything, because it is what propels and gives movement to the next thing. And the owl showed me the circle of life, and they call it a circle of life. It's circular. It's continually moving. People are dying, people are being born, animals are dying, animals are being born, trees get burned, and new forests grow from the trees because it needs the heat to germinate the seeds and regrow. There's always regrowth. Nothing is just taken and dies, and then that to want a world where everything must be saved. Although we think it's a utopia, everybody can't stay alive. All animals can't stay alive. It breaks the circle, and then it gets lopsided, and then it's out of balance. And when it's out of balance, it's no good. They say too much of a good thing is not a good thing. We to want to interfere with the circle of life is our mistakenly thinking, because there needs to be that circular motion. Things need to leave and other needs to go. Old consciousness needs to go out and new needs to come in. Those that don't want to participate and create whatever, and they need to move on to. It's not to have any judgment about the circle of life at all, because it's perfect just as it is, and it's doing whatever it needs to, and it's happening without our interference. When we interfere, it's not always a good thing. So it was beautiful to see just the appropriateness of that circle of life happening, with or without our blessing. And it's just have no judgment about anything. It was so big for me, the no judgment about anything, because if you're not uncomfortable where you are, you don't get to move where you need to be. That uncomfortableness is supposed to be there. That uneasiness is supposed to be there, because it propels you to take action, and the appropriate actions. So I got lots of messages, lots of visions, lots of understanding, and released the judgment that I had about certain of my experiences, seeing it now from a different vantage point. And they also showed me, it's like when I moved from Durban, I've taken my pot plants wherever I go, and I've taken my plants from place to place, and I've been aware of how they flourish in certain places and how they just die in other places. And at one place that I loved staying here, I left about half of my plants there, because I knew it's in a home and it's in a place where they can just, it's the right environment, and I left them behind. And the last place that I'm now, the last bit of plants that I've carried with me to create beauty with me, they just died. So I thought, they showed me we can't live here. It's not for plant flourishing life, and it's not for me. It's like I'm not the only one feeling this way, and it's okay. It's okay, because it's what's needed for me to know that, hey, I can replant myself. We are replantable, and we can then more easily ground ourselves. And it's to be grounded and balanced is very important. So yeah, I love today's meditation. Yes, Barbara, please share.
Now I was just thinking about the seed, how the seed is the potential of everything, in fact, of the tree. And you just need to know where, as you're saying now, plant your seed in the right place to realize the potential of that. And also not to even think about obstacles. I was thinking also about the tarot cards and the obstacles. We make the obstacles. We put those obstacles in our path. So remove the obstacles mentally, the path is clear, and everything that you want to happen is going to happen. That's
Next.
Just quickly circling back to what Barb's was originally saying at the beginning of the session, about the concern as to, you know, if we stay secure, as it were, for ourselves, and you know, how is this world going to get better? And Fiona, I know you concluded, and it made absolute sense about duality, but there are so many free webinars at the moment during being born out of lockdown, and one of the ones that I listened to from LinkedIn was a webinar about sustainability, and just how many of the big corps, like the Unilevers, the HSBC banks, and the list goes on, about how many of them are actually looking at climate change, for one, being one of the major focuses. And I know it's been going on for 10 years or so, but the shift is real, and that's where they are plowing a load of their effort into, is climate change and sustainability. So for me, it was quite, I mean, it was hell of a interesting to hear that that's actually, that's their number one in terms of where their focus is. And it was just so comforting to know that actually some of the big corps that we may think are just out there producing the convenience food and so on for us humans are actually are looking and wanting to do good for the planet, you know. And they also spoke about some circular economy, and it was all about how we can better our chains, as it were, you know, as to from the grower, how it gets to the consumer and how it can benefit the earth, you know. So I just wanted to drop that in there, because there's just a lot of good happening whilst we say hold the light, because we don't have the opportunity otherwise to do what they're doing on their side, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to share that, because it was really comforting for me to know that there was a lot happening by companies that have a lot of influence on the economies and the earth ultimately.
Yeah, awesome. Wow,
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. Yes, it's like those stories that we don't hear, and there are those ones. So it's awesome to see, and that's what the parable also was trying to make us aware. It's like we just need to be that, and others will our vibration, our energy, what we send out does change the whole. It's where more light is anchored on this earth plane, darkness can't be, unconsciousness can't be. So all we need to do is just anchor that consciousness, anchor that awareness, and see it will unfold. We don't necessarily have to be the ones that do all that, but we do what we can with what we have, and see when we the little deer when I looked at it, it's like it had everything that it needed to. So it's like sometimes a human might come by and say, oh shame, the deer lost its mother, it's all alone, but it's protected. it's taken care of. Yeah, it's sustained. There's food. There's all the elements to nurture and care for it. And all we need to do is that little innocent parts of society, of whatever. All we need to do is give it love and attention, not oh shame, oh they don't have. Don't place restrictions and obstacles upon that, or consciousness about that. It's like, oh, okay, so I know everyone is taken care of. I wonder who's going to step up forward and help, because there will be help. Although people have gone hungry, those that have said, I'm hungry, people have stepped up and fed them, gave them a meal, gave them a thing. So sometimes it's just a pride thing. It's just to overcome, because things can be taken care of. There's so much compassion and love from human hearts all over. And it's just to start seeing that. The more we see it and say, I wonder how that's going to happen, then we'll see that, because it will always be revealed to us. So yeah, thank you, Nix, for showing us the other side of the coin and awareness of that. Thanks. Anyone else want to share anything before we end off? All good? Well, thank you for sharing this time with me. Lots of love to you all, and have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful week.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Fiona.
you.
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.